Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rest of the Field podcast. We are so excited to make this happen and bring you our very first show. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter at the Rest of the Field. It's REST_field, rest_field, and Instagram at the Rest of the Field. Check us out. Give us a like, a thumbs up, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is Jason Gorman, and I'm joined by Justin Matzik, Chris Weiler, and Ben. You may hear a few different names thrown around. We're usually not super formal with one another. We've known each other for a long time. We all either grew up or lived in Marshfield, Wisconsin. We've known each other since high school. We've taken different paths, but somehow all ended up working for the same company in East Bay. Justin is our lone survivor still in Wisconsin. He's in the La Crosse area. Chris is currently in the greater Chicago area in the suburbs. Ben and I both live in different areas of greater metro Atlanta. But that's enough about us. Hopefully we'll have plenty more shows where everybody can get to know us a little bit. So let's get right into it. We've unveiled episode 1 of our pod. So let's talk about the recent uniform reveals in the NFL. Chris, take it away.
Yeah, sweet. So getting into uniform reveals, we have a list of them that we are going to go through. But first, I want your guys' take. These have kind of taken a life of their own over the last 2 years. Every team, every professional sport, every college, high school, everybody's doing it. Do you think this will stick around for the next few years, or do you guys think there's going to be something else? As far back as I can remember, it was pretty much Oregon using it for recruiting and, you know, getting a new uniform from Nike every year to like help their roster. So now it's basically just every team does it, and every year they get a new uniform. I'm over it. I want to hear what you guys got to say.
Wow. Well, you're over it, Chris. I like it. I mean, my take is we're going down the road, and I'm not surprised that they'll switch uniforms at halftime. I mean, some of these uniforms, like
the Mighty Ducks did it.
But all in all, for me, I like the new uniforms. I like that they're going back to the like 80s, early 90s style. Nice, clean, crisp, looking sharp.
Do you think teams are going to come out with a new uniform every single year from now on?
I think so. I don't know what maybe Jason or Ben think, but
yeah, it's a money grab. You know, it's if you keep the same uniforms looking the exact same way, you only have to buy one. So every time you come out with a new uniform, if it's just one alternate or a throwback or whatever else they decide to come out with, or even these little minor tweaks and changes, it's still a different uniform and still something new that the consumers have to buy. So I think it'll stick around because it's just a pure moneymaker.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, I see where they're coming from a standpoint of trying to make money, but I'm kind of along the lines of Chris, as I could care less if they come out with the new uniforms. It doesn't excite me, you know, like even the Atlanta ones this year, they added the ATL to them. I don't think it looks that great. That's just my opinion. But
so this is the Browns. What else do we got?
So are we yay or nay on the Browns here?
I like the Browns. I like it. It's back to the old school 80s, 90s look. Bernie Kosar. That was my boy in Miami.
The ones they had. Yeah, I like it better than the ones they had last year that say Cleveland.
Yeah, I didn't see as much of a, like enough change to really get excited about it. You know, it's like you change the sleeve design and, the socks have different stripes on them. It's not a huge change. I'm excited to see kind of the all Browns uniform, the one on the far right there. To me, like, I get it, right? They have a steep history, and the orange has always been part of it. And the brown has always been, like, so dark where it's not really brown. It just comes off as kind of a black, just a different version of black. But, I mean, I'd like something different. Like, if you're going to do a uniform reveal, do something different. Do something wild. Something doesn't have to be necessarily a crazy change, but, like, I don't know. Something to be excited about. You can always go back to the old traditional uniforms. Give me something that moves the needle a little bit other than shoulder stripes. So, I'm kind of middle of the
I'm
road
with
on
you.
the Browns. I would say more towards dislike.
I like it.
Classic look for me. I love all the brown on the right. However, again, nothing flashy, just a flash. I mean, I'll give it a passing grade just because I think it's clean. If you can give it that, it's good for me. So we'll move on to the next one. Tampa Bay. Brady comes back. Classic look here. I think they said it was from basically 98 to 2007, 8, something around that time frame. To me, kind of a great look that I normally kind of remember from Tampa Bay besides their classic orange. So I'll give it another passing grade on my end.
Ben, what do you think?
Again, it's like Chris said, it's something that they've done before. I don't think this is anything new, anything super up to date. I guess when I was hearing new uniforms, I was thinking it would have been something along their old orange icicle, with the older logo as well, or the orange popsicle. I mean, that's more of what I was hoping to see, but they're fine. Creamsicle. There you go. I had ice cream on the brain.
Along the lines of what Ben said, I would have loved to have seen a play on the helmets a little different. Kind of go back to that old Buccaneer face logo. Even if it doesn't necessarily have to be the creamsicle, which I think the majority of fans and people in the NFL world wanted to see was a return to the creamsicle colorway. It could have still been this red, white, gray colorway, but give me a change up in the logo. The logo is a little generic. Something you could see on a high school, pretty blah. I do kind of like the all gray. That's different. That's different from what they've gone with, and just kind of a nod to their old Super Bowl days. John Gruden and those teams, with the Super Bowl coming back to Tampa Bay this year, Tom Brady coming in, all those different things all happening in the same year. I like the nod towards those Super Bowl years as they, I guess, try to make a run at a Super Bowl. But I like it more than the Browns. Still not a huge thumbs up for me, though.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I think they stink. They're lucky they got Brady. Let's move on.
They're going to be terrible.
Classic.
All right. We got Atlanta. So Atlanta, we got a new uniform every other game. It looks like 4 of them. Like this is my pet peeve. All right. Like give me 2 for the year, maybe an alternative, but I don't need 4 different uniforms to try to be a fan and have a actual budget to buy something. So these are, I've seen some funny stuff going around where it's like the longest yard uniforms. You know what? These
good reference. I like that.
I'm not a big fan of the ATL on the front.
Are you talking the original longest yard or the Adam Sandler longest yard?
I mean,
okay.
I guess
just checking.
None of us were born when Justin was, but I would say as far as what I've seen, it's only Adam Sandler. So I mean, they're all right. They're sleek. They look nice, but I'm gonna go no. I don't like it.
I like the one on the far right. That's like more of a Deion Sanders. The one on Matt Ryan is decent. The red to black, that's just too much for me. I'm a no-go on that style, but I think overall I'm okay with these.
Now that you said the helmet, though, I do notice I like that black helmet, all matte finish with just the white. Yep. I think that looks really smooth. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and I just don't like where it says the ATL. To me, they could lose that. I mean, I think that's just unnecessary to have it there. Even Tampa Bay had it where it said Buccaneers, but at least it was smaller where it wasn't so noticeable. I mean, if you look at the jersey on the far right, it doesn't even have that. I think that's by far and away their best look on this group.
Yeah, I think the majority of NFL teams, and I could be wrong. I mean, I'd have to see images of all of them, but I think most of NFL teams don't have the team name on them. We all know who's playing. We don't need a reminder that they're from Atlanta. So I think the ATL is probably the biggest call out. If you remove that from all of the jerseys, maybe that moves the needle a little bit more. Kind of hard to make white, red, and black look bad. So, I mean, they're decent.
Hey, I got a quick pop in here for you. You Georgia boys now recently. Is the Falcons your second team now? I mean, clearly you're Packer fans, right? But you guys, you cheer for the Falcons now?
I do not. I am Green Bay all the way. But if I had a second team, it would probably be whatever my fantasy team is.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Yeah, fantasy kind of runs everything, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the Packers aren't on TV, Atlanta's on, so we'll be watching the game. So we see a lot of them. But yeah, it's definitely not anybody else in the NFC North. I'll tell you that.
Ben's second favorite team: anything that involves ice cream. Boom.
We'll get to that later.
So the Tampa Bay creamsicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Who we
our
got?
last one. We got the Colts. It looks like we got a little controversy here that we're talking about. So Coach Kabuski, I probably heard that name. He thinks that they took the logo from his logo here on the right side and used it on the new Colts uniforms. You know what? If I was a coach, I'd be pumped that they're even mimicking what I have created. So I think you should be pumped about that. You can tell the C's are way different. I mean, we work enough with logos that if everything looks the same, it's right. It doesn't look the same. So it's different.
I'm with him. I think his tweet here that we see is a little tongue in cheek. Like I don't think he's trying to get anything out of it other than, just bringing it up that, hey, I created this logo. And I think in other tweets or other statements, he said that they used to tweet at the Colts and different things for letting them use their facility and things like that. So there's definitely a connection between that high school and the Colts. So if anything, I think, like you said, they should be proud that they're using the logo. And I think he sort of is. It just comes off as though he's trying to start something or maybe get some recognition for it. But I definitely see enough similarities to where if it was me, I would have done the same thing.
I'm completely swayed by that. You got me on one side of the argument. I'll go with you. If there's money to be made and they ripped them off, all for it, baby. Go get that money.
I think maybe everybody should leave a comment and see what you think, or tweet us, add us, see what you think about this one. I think that coach here, no disrespect, I love all coaches. You do a lot of hard work for little pay, but who cares, man? Like, it's a great logo, and but let us know what you guys think. Tweet us with your opinion on this, or leave a comment in the bottom.
This one's interesting. I don't know that I've seen too many teams do an alternate logo. Like, they're not using this on the helmets. I guess it'll probably be on some apparel, but in terms of the uniform, it's only going to be on the inside of the neckline. So I feel like this is going to go away in a hurry. You're not really going to see much of it. So it's kind of weird that the Colts even brought this out. Like, they just made this new logo for, I guess, maybe to sell T-shirts more than it is to sell uniforms.
I think that's a great point, and it almost puts me in the category of, like, we've said all these uniforms are okay. I think this is going to be the next way that they advertise to actual, like, consumers. There's none of us are going out there and buying a jersey, or very few. Maybe a couple of us do. But if I'm going to wear a shirt and it has a new logo on it, I'm probably going to look for that new logo just to have something different every year. So I might see this more than uniforms going forward.
Let's switch it over to baseball. Let's see what they got. There's a few more of those.
Yep, we can fly through these ones. So our home state, baby, Brew Crew.
Let's go, boys.
Yep.
These are the best ever. I don't care what anybody says. You can say what you want. The greatest team of all time, greatest uniform of all time.
Greatest logo ever.
Missing Christian Yelich, but I love these uniforms. They mix everything in with the new colors, the old bat and glove logo. Hot. Just sizzling hot.
Which of the four is your favorite?
Yep.
Which of the four?
You got to pick one.
I think probably the one that Brownie's got on, the all white.
Cream?
Really?
Cream,
okay.
Yeah, creamy white. Think about ice cream there. A little creamsicle again for you, Ben.
Well,
always back
beer,
to food.
Beer. This is cream, a nod to the beer, the same as the Bucks came out with their Cream City.
Absolutely.
City uniforms. So Milwaukee coming together. I love all of the. I mean, there's some things that I don't like the yellow front hat, but I like that Navy uniform. It's different. The cream is awesome. It's old school. The pinstripes is old school. You have your standard gray away uniform. So the only tweak I would have, the only downside I see in these uniforms is the yellow front hat. It's just not my personal style. I get it. The Brewers used to have it. I don't necessarily like it.
Yeah. I like all of them. I mean, the pinstripes has always been my favorite since CC was in there and I got his uni, for that 1 year. It was a lot of fun. I don't know. I like the one Keston's got on too with the gray. I do like the state logo on the side there. I can't tell. Is that just like gold bricks in there?
Yeah.
To be? They came out with a few new logos, like you see on the pinstripe uniform. There's a baseball with sort of wheat kind of used as the seams. The one you don't see is the Barrel Man logo, which is kind of similar to like the Padres Friar logo. It's just kind of an alternate logo that's using. We haven't seen it in a long time because it's always been about Bernie Brewer, and they came back with the Barrel Man, which is kind of like a barrel of beer that grew arms and legs and is swinging a baseball bat. So it's another cool nod to the previous Brewers because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is their 50th anniversary year. So that's why they came out with a lot of this retro, make it new look, that sort of thing. So again, thumbs up for me.
Barrel Man represents a lot of rec softball players in Wisconsin. Very, very similar build.
I love all four of these. Honestly, baseball is the one sport I'm going to go totally opposite. Every day of the week, you should have a new uniform and a new color hat. There's nothing worse than being at a bar or anywhere out and about, and it's Tuesday night, and that game was played last night, and it doesn't say replay in the corner. Oh, it'll break you, I tell you. So yellow hat, blue hat, I could care less. Every day of the week should be a different color. Baseball, throw me a wrench. I love it. So keep moving. Go to D-back. See, this is what I'm talking about. 6 uniforms every day of the week. I'll know when they're playing. I don't have to worry. Pretty traditional for me. I like them. I think one looks kind of like a batting practice one, but I'm good with all of it. Good for Arizona.
Yeah, the black one with the A does kind of look rather spring training, BP, but it's different. Something different. With the Diamondbacks, they went away from that gradient look that they tried a few years ago, and it was the same type of money play. They tried to do something different, get a younger generation to kind of buy into the organization, and they went with it. Mixed reviews. Now they're going away from it, going back more traditional. Kind of tough to see the hats, but they have a mixture of the A and then also the Diamondback, like snakehead. The one I really like, the one I would be throwing up there, if I had to wear one, would be the white with the teal, the light teal or aqua, whatever you want to call that color. That'd be my pick.
I like that with the shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the teal. I don't know why. For some reason, those two stand out as the ones that I would stay away from. But that's what they're trying to do. I mean, I look good in anything, but that's not the point. We're here to talk about the uniforms, all right? To the hats, I wish every team had more hat logos. Like, I love hats. Deke, I know you're a big hat guy as well. So, I mean, to have 3 or 4 different logos that you could put on a hat, I think would be nice. They've got 2 here, so that seems like it's well represented. The blue just isn't my thing. I don't know. The teal.
I'm down with the teal. Aqua ones. My favorite part of this whole picture is the aqua cleats.
Yep. Yeah, those
the rest of them I can do without.
Okay.
I love it. Next baseball one, actually, not the last one. Twins. These for me, epic. Love these. They should have these every season as an alternative. That's just my take on it.
I love these.
Yeah, baseball, it's kind of a huge throwback to when a lot of teams had some type of baby blue as their alternate or away uniform, and I think these are a nod to Kirby Puckett and that era of teams. So I'm all for it. I love them.
Yeah, I like them too. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anything powder blue is sick for a baseball uniform.
Shout out to Little Big League if you've ever seen it. Fantastic uniform in that movie. But go for it.
What else we got?
Padres, San Diego, old stomping ground. These are hideous, and it fits them well. I love it.
Wow.
Perfect.
Hideous.
Yeah. Not something I want to be wearing on a warm, sunny day down in San Diego, but it's great for the military colors, camouflage, little brownish. Yeah, it does the trick.
And that's, to me, they're owning it, right? These are their colors, gold and brown with a little bit of white, but they own it. Unlike the Cleveland Browns, like I talked about earlier. If your team name is Browns, it'd be Brown. They own it. What can Brown do for you? It looks like UPS's softball team, but I don't know.
That was a good one.
I think we got some classic looks. They're not trying to do too much with it. The colors are different, but they're their colors. So I like it.
I played softball against the UPS team once. I went 0 for 5 pop-outs left field. It was great.
Ooh.
So does that mean you're against this lineup because it gives you bad feelings inside?
The only thing I like about the Padres is Tony Gwynn. Rest in peace. The brown, I like the going back to the 80s look again. So I'm okay with the brown. The pants, I don't know if the brown is clashing off of them, but the pants seem weird. Like it's almost not gray. Is that just me or I don't know.
No,
anyway.
It's not like a traditional gray. It's more, I don't even know what to call it. Taupe?
Yeah, so that's throwing me off a little bit, which I don't really like, but that's my take.
Yeah, I don't mind the two uniforms with the pinstripes on them, just because at least they match. I don't know why. I just don't like the dark brown on the light brown look. But yeah,
let's keep rolling.
All right, last one. Rangers. They seem to have new uniforms all the time as well. You know what? I'm good with it. It's fine. I'm over baseball new uniforms. They should have about 20 of them anyway.
Rangers opened up a new stadium, so this is part of that rollout for them. Looks like the red and blue tops with the white pants are pretty much carryover. I think the two big new ones are the white with the script on the front and the red hat, and then the all powder blue all the way through the hat. Joey Gallo looks like an absolute monster in this picture. That dude is.
I know. That's how I feel like when I'm talking next to Justin.
Yeah,
right
that's fine.
I like him. I like all of them.
I like the one guy next to him staring up at him like really starry-eyed. Who's that? I don't know what's going on there.
About.
Is that you, Chris? And then I'm Gallo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, for the sake of moving on, I like the powder blue. I like the Rangers and next to the powder blue and the all white. The rest of them, bye.
Okay.
I like the socks too. High socks. That's my focus. Yeah, I do like the red uniform too. I like they got the little different hat. I think the blue uniform has that too. The second one in on the left. Just again, just something different.
Yeah, so you got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 different hats.
Yeah.
More of that.
4 hats, 6 unis. I like it.
I can't get over this guy staring up at him. That's funny to me.
Little man problems.
All right, that wraps us up. I would say uniforms. You know what? We're gonna keep seeing it. Is what it is. Wish they'd get a little more creative though. I don't need just a picture posted to social media, to be honest with you.
For some reason, I really liked it when they did the the special jerseys for football a couple years ago on Thursday night when they had the special
the color,
what do they call it, color match, color rush.
I like that.
Yeah, obviously football is different than baseball because there's only, what do they play, 14 Thursday night games or something? But I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
Quick math.
Yeah, they could
do
something. Yeah, they could do different stuff with the unveilings, but
we'll
move on. Yeah, here we go.
Let's do this.
Tiger King on Netflix. You don't really have to explain too much about it. I'm sure most of you have seen some of it, all of it. You've definitely heard about it somewhere, somehow. It's everywhere. Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin. Baskin or Baskins?
Baskin. And
It's not Baskin Robbins. Baskins Robbins.
It is.
here we go with this ice cream reference. You are
Right.
Mr. Ice Cream.
Get it off.
31 flavors.
So we'll get everybody's take on this, but I'll lead it off and just say I wasn't a huge fan. I bought into everybody's high praises on it, and something you had to watch, and it was so crazy. And I tell you what, an episode, 2 episodes in, it was like, all right, I get it. These people are nuts. They're crazy. They own tigers in the United States, for gosh sakes, as like pets. So there's a screw loose to begin with. So this isn't a zoo. This isn't the Atlanta public zoo. This is just somebody's backyard. I think once you get past those first few, outtakes where you're like, wow, this guy is nuts. And wow, that lady probably killed her husband. Once you get past that, I thought the rest of the episodes were just more of the same. And it was just, okay, just get on to it. Is something else going to happen? Are we actually going to investigate Carol for killing her husband? It almost felt like a newer reality TV show where the producers have, in this case, Joe Exotic, just do one crazy thing after another. And it's like, hey, why don't you marry 2 guys at the same time? Why don't you, say that you're going to run for president, but then actually run for, I think, governor, or I don't know what he actually ended up running for, all while, I don't know, embezzling money and buying and selling and killing tigers. And it was, to me, it was just a mess. There was one huge it wasn't really a twist. It was just a moment in the show, a few episodes in, that was actually shocking. I couldn't believe that was on camera. The entire incident wasn't on camera, and I don't want to ruin everything for those of you who haven't seen it, but that part was like, wow. Yeah, I know. I that part was the only part that caught me off guard. And then after that, I was just like, okay, is it done yet? So it was on a 5-star rating, I would give it a 2.5.
Wow.
What is going on over there?
I gotta say, the only thing I want to say here is, what the hell was I watching? Like, this is terrible. I mean, I understand that we all have nothing to do, and we're gonna watch anything that comes on Netflix or on our streaming services. But this was like watching somebody that owned a zoo versus somebody else that owned a zoo, and fighting about it and hating each other, and it was worthless. So I'm sure you've all seen it. To me, it was a waste of time.
Where you at on the 5-star rating?
You know what? I love documentaries, so I'm still going to give it a 3-star. But if you're watching it because you have nothing else to watch.
Exactly.
If sports were on, we would not be talking about this.
Right.
So that's my take.
I think we would still be talking about it. I mean, to me, it's crazy enough where even if sports are going on, this is going to come to the forefront. I mean, everybody's got Netflix these days. People are going to watch this. It's going to get around.
What's
my
crazy
biggest thing
with you? What do you think
everything is crazy. The whole thing, like that these people actually exist. You know? you seriously? No, have I been to a zoo in general? Yeah. No,
like a zoo that has wild animals, like exotic animals at all?
No, not that I can think of. I mean, we've been to the zoo here in Atlanta. They've got lions. That's about the most exotic I think I have ever seen. But they don't let you get in the cage with the lions and play with them. You know, they've got lions at the zoo. They've got this huge liger that they show. I mean, it's crazy. People are walking around like it's a house pet, and it's like a 500-600 pound animal. You know, to me, it's just a matter of time. Like when the one tiger is going after his boot or something, and he claims someone rubbed some catnip on it or whatever.
He had cologne on it.
Yeah. What I mean,
smelled good that day.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really what happened. Maybe it is, but to me, it's like eventually something like that's going to happen when you're around these huge animals.
Yeah, I think the craziest stat was that there was more. there's more of these tigers in these
Captivity.
different zoos and sanctuaries and stuff in the U.S. than there are in the wild in the entire world. There's obviously something wrong with that. But I mean that I don't want to get into the deeper dive, but I mean that's just crazy. Deke, Ben, what was 5-star rating? What are you giving it?
I would give it a 4, just because of the watchability to go all the way through. Like it felt like every episode was upping the craziness.
We'll have to do a deeper dive on some of this. Not necessarily this show, but I want to know where other shows rank, like actual good TV or actual good movies. If this is a 4-star, I want to know what makes a 5-star, and then 2, all these other shows and movies that you're going to put at a 3-star.
Okay.
All right, Deke, what do you got on this?
That's a burn. That's a burn. Ben, you got to be careful with Jason on this movie ratings.
Trust me, I know he's going to be keeping track of all the ratings I put out there. So I think he's been making a list since we were 12.
Yes.
Well, I just want to say to all my cool cats and kittens out there that you can make a comment below to see, tell us what you think of Tiger King or add us on Twitter. I think that the weirdest part about this show to me was how much money these people make.
Right?
It, to me, was insane. And
it was like hundreds of dollars to get into the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you afford that?
It was, I mean, I was sucked in by it. I think it actually is the most watched Netflix show in history. Really? Obviously, Chris is right. Correct. Obviously Chris is right. If there was NBA playoffs going in baseball, it wouldn't be. But Exotic Joe Dirt, I mean, what a guy. I mean, the hair.
Did you see the Spade is possible for like a movie?
Yeah, Ben, what if I think we need to make some type of bet where the consequences are you have to shave your facial hair like Mr. Joe Exotic here.
Oh, what is this bet?
I don't know.
Is it based off my rating system?
Well, probably. Maybe if we get enough people to subscribe and like and maybe retweet some type of facial hair challenge.
I'd be down for
that.
I'm in on that.
Joe Exotic lookalike.
Hey, by the way, I gave it a 3 stars. That's my
3-star. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's so weird. I'm kind of with Ben. Like it's so outlandish and weird. Like you kind of have to watch. And I don't know. It's way more serious than I first went into it. I thought it was more like of a funny thing. Like, hey, we're watching, Exotic Joe Dirt, just kind of be funny and people make fun of him. But then it got real serious.
Yeah, there's some dark understories to that.
There was a lot of twists and turns, so I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. If you haven't watched it, give it a shot. I mean, what else do you have to do? But
that's the thing. You got time to watch it. But
okay, so
I do wish they did some more episodes on Basque and figure out what really happened there.
That might be maybe down the line. Maybe down the line. Although I think she probably is feeling the heat now that everybody thinks she actually did kill her husband. Yeah. But so if you've watched this and you've moved on, or you maybe you haven't seen this and you're watching something else, what are you guys watching now? If you've already seen it and moved on, or you never did watch it, what are you guys watching, and where can we find it? We'll start with Chris. What are you watching nowadays?
We are through everything. We have been quarantined here for 30 days, and I swear me and my wife have finished everything that's important. That's why we did watch Tiger King, because there's nothing else important to watch, like Ozarks or actual good shows that maybe make you think a little bit. Right now, we're watching Veep, to be honest with you. We're in season 3. You know what? Fantastic show. It's easy to put on during dinner, just like get through it, and it's funny. So that's what we're into right now.
Ben, what do you got?
Oh man, where does the day go? There's not enough time to talk about all the shows.
Just let's pick the one that if You weren't
I can't.
recording
You
this
know what?
right
I
now
can't.
with us.
I can't do one. I can't do one. But I will say we've watched Onward a bunch of times on Disney Plus. I'm a rewatcher. Love Pixar, so we've been all over that.
Okay, so
I think Homeland
you and
is
your
going to be on my
fiance with
rewatch.
no kids are watching Disney animated movies on repeat. Okay.
That is correct. And usually she's asleep on the couch, so it's really just me watching it, and I'm fine with that.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Homeland is on my rewatch list. I think I've only seen the first few seasons, and I know the
On
last
Showtime?
season just came out. Yep, on Showtime. And then Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO just ended recently. I think it
Never
was
got
its
into
10th or 11th season. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite shows.
Heard
if
good
you-
things. Never got into it.
Yeah, it's an adult version of Seinfeld.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's one of my
David.
favorite of all times. Yep.
You mean
Larry
the
David.
people on Seinfeld weren't adults?
I'm just saying, like, there's more swearing and
Okay,
adult
gotcha.
references.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
An adult rated. Because it's
Correct,
the same.
I
He's,
got it.
is he the writer or he's not just the only writer, but Larry David created Seinfeld.
correct.
And it's
Costanza was
essentially
based off of him.
Yeah, and that premise, just with sort of an adult rating on HBO, with kind of no holds bar, they can do and say what they want. All right, Deke, what do you got?
It's a show called Dirty Money on Netflix.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody's seen it, but it's 2 seasons. It's pretty good. It just kind of goes over how people make dirty money. It is what it is. And then another show, maybe I'm sounding like a dark person here, but it's called I Am a Killer. And it talks about people that committed murder and get life sentence, and kind of goes through their life, and it's interesting. It's like more of like a sociology piece type of show. It's also on Netflix.
Is your Dirty Money show just like American Greed or something?
No, it's like actual people that, their companies are dirty.
Yeah,
I mean,
each episode is a different person or different company, and they do a deep dive into how those people got started, where they're at, where things are a little bit shady. And these are prominent people, not just in the U.S. but also in the world. So it's pretty interesting to watch. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Not a whole lot for me. I've been making time for some different video games, I guess, as of late, as opposed to watching TV. I've been trying to finish a show called Godless, which is a couple years old, on Netflix, kind of a Western feel to that. Jeff Daniels, who would be Jim Carrey's counterpart in Dumb and Dumber, is in that. It's good. It's just it gets a little bit slow, and MLB The Show is the only video game that I still purchase to this day at 34 years old. So
right.
Been making time to play that one. And then I ventured into a new, it's not really a video game, it's more of a simulation game. It's called Out of the Park Baseball. It's just a deeper dive into like statistics, analytics. You put together a team, and you don't actually play any games. You just set lineups, set rosters. There's other versions of the game where you can get as deep as like setting concession stand prices and all that sort of stuff. But I just do it as something else to do. It simulates throughout the day. You don't have to actually touch it if you don't want. So not much for the TV shows on my end, but let's keep her going.
Let's do it.
Nope,
Probably could have skipped this one, huh?
That's all right.
Let's skip that one. Nobody wants. We just talked about that. Horse challenge, we can make this short too, because there's something I really want to get to, which is the dessert draft.
Yeah.
I really want to get to that. So this horse challenge, if anybody has watched it, it sucks, and stop watching it.
They're just doing whatever they can to fill time. My fault. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean,
did they finish it already?
I think the championship is in the next day or two. There was a game last night, or the semifinals were last night.
I want to say, obviously, that, they're raising money for COVID-19 relief, which is awesome. But the whole TV experience of this was just not great. And I wish they would have gotten like the superstars or like old superstars like Shaq versus Ernie Johnson, like get those guys, or, Giannis versus LeBron, Westbrook versus KD. I mean, in their defense, they've had to put it together pretty quick. This is not something easy you can probably scrape together, but
I think in the NBA, they have the least amount of players. So you got to have the faces of these teams that are out there, the faces of the league, and the huge miss in terms of who they actually got to play. And we'll talk about some of the other sports, but they have more teams and maybe an equal amount of teams, but they got every team involved, or at least more people. And like the NFL, they still had some stars out there, some current stars. So yeah, I think a huge miss by the NBA. I haven't personally watched. I didn't really want to watch people play horse, but I'm not going to tune in anytime soon.
I have no sources, but I'm just, from what I see on social media, it sounded like a majority of the league denied the request to participate. So most of them said that they were not willing, didn't want to be on it, didn't have an indoor basketball arena, whatever it might be as part of it. So I'll watch it just because it's on.
Right. And let's see what some of the other leagues are doing here. Baseball. So this is one, again, this is the video game that I've been playing. And so something that I've actually watched a little bit of, which, I mean, you can see at the bottom there, they're showing it on a bunch of different channels and networks and things, not just an ESPN play. So I think this one has been a huge hit. You get some younger athletes, so you can kind of bring in that younger demographic. And it's just guys playing, I think some of them are like 3-inning or 5-inning games against each other. And it's pretty funny because they get to play as themselves at certain points in the game. And these guys get pretty riled up. I know Joey Gallo, who we saw previously in the jersey reveal, he's been doing well for the Texas Rangers. I don't know how Josh Hader's been doing for our Brewers, but I think they have done the best in terms of the major sports, doing something for everybody else to watch other than actual games.
Shout out to Gavin Lux, Wisconsin boy.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. He's with the Dodgers.
What else we
now.
got?
Did anybody watch this one?
No.
I
thought
did.
This was an ESPN play as well.
This was. It was on ESPN and all their like affiliates. I liked it actually.
Bigger stars, at least.
Bigger stars. I mean, truly, you just had a picture, just like you would see on Twitch. You could watch the video stream of the game and the player at the same time. Probably pretty much just like baseball. I haven't seen that one, but honestly, I think it's a cool idea for people to get into in the off season, maybe.
Well, it's actual gameplay. It's like watching the game that these guys play, as opposed to horse, where horse, you're just shooting. There's not a whole lot else to it. And then I think the funny thing is that it brings these guys down from being superstars to being, on the same level as a 12, 13-year-old kid who's playing video games and gets frustrated and throws their controller. At least I've seen it on the baseball side. These guys are not happy when things do not go right. So it's pretty amusing.
That's a good point. The best part is they pick the roster. Obviously, it's random teams. So let's say they pick the Bucks. It's fun to see like their reactions. I mean, there's a guy who got his own team. We won't mention any names to the Suns, but got his own team, and he was like, "Hell no, not playing with my own team. We're terrible. We suck." On to the next.
Did they do the whole classic? You get two teams and you get to pick one of those two, and if you don't, you got to chance it and you got to take the third.
I think they did 3 teams.
Ooh,
and
that's classic, Ben. I remember that when I was 13.
Yep, still the best way to do it, I believe.
Absolutely. But yeah, I love the idea. It's cool.
Yeah, I think the best thing I saw just from seeing a few highlights on Twitter was like the smack talk. The guys were talking to each other. I think, like you guys said, it makes them feel so much more relatable.
Well,
it looked like they were having so much fun. Yes.
Yeah. Beverly's game did not change from the court to the TV screen or to the video game. I mean, he he talks as much crap as he does on the floor, as he does on the video. I mean, it's pretty funny. And I think football did a good job too. We can go to that next one. Whereas, same thing, not as many people, but I think they were one of the first ones to actually roll something out. And they raised money for some of the COVID relief efforts. But they had some pretty big stars here. They had teammates playing each other, which was pretty funny to see, especially, like the Chiefs having an offensive and defensive person. I guess same with the Chargers and actually the Browns. So it was only the one matchup that wasn't teammates on offense and defense playing each other. But cool concept. A little harder to shrink those Madden games down into something shorter, but I had heard it went over well.
I like the name Debo.
You like Debo?
Change
Debo
my,
from,
can I
Isn't
change
that from
my nick-
Friday?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Debo. Hey,
that's why you
can I
like
just can we get to the dessert draft? I need this bad.
All right, let's move on to the
All right,
next topic.
Let's roll through it.
This is
We can skip the social medias. Let's move right into desserts here because that's what really brought this all together. Just a little bit of background. Then, when was that? October?
Something like that.
Yep.
October. We were at a work meeting, and our work we had dinner with our full team, and everybody else kind of went back, and we had one more stop at the bar, and we're sitting around. There's a handful of us, and one of the people, one of the grown men that was with us, ordered a grasshopper. Which, if you're
Are you
not
saying I'm not a
aware,
grown man?
I didn't say you ordered the grasshopper,
Okay.
but one of the guys ordered a grasshopper, and if you're not aware, it's I guess you could call it alcoholic ice cream drink treat, kind of like a sundae. Some of the ingredients do have alcohol in them. You can obviously very easily make it non-alcoholic, but it just sparked the topic of desserts and things like that. And Ben decided that he was going to stake his claim in the dessert world to the banana split.
In the frozen dessert world.
And I was not going to let that happen. To me, and it wasn't like other people had picked other things before it got to him picking banana split. He just outright said it, as in, hey, number one pick, banana split.
It's nostalgic. I don't know why it doesn't stand out for others as much as it does for me.
so. Let's get to this draft.
Yeah,
I haven't had it for years.
A lot of debate. This went on for probably a good half hour that night. But what we're going to do here, and we're just going to run a little dessert draft. We do need to lay some ground rules so everybody's kind of on the same page here. And I guess those ground rules just need to be, you can't pick ice cream and get all flavors of ice cream. If you're going to pick something like that, you need to be specific. So if it's vanilla, chocolate, if there's anything in it, if you're talking like a Blizzard would have to have whatever toppings are in it, same way as a flavor of ice cream. But this can be anything, whatever you consider dessert, unless you guys want to go with dessert that you would order from a restaurant or ice cream place.
And then
To me, I like, there's candy, there's just straight up chocolate, candy bars, things like that. I would also consider those desserts. So in my book, I think those are fair game. It's up to you guys though.
Chocolates for dessert, huh?
And then, so we're going to do this draft, and then we're putting it up as a poll question on Twitter, and then people can decide on who has the best team for desserts. And I love it. Or you can comment at the bottom on the page here. So
All right,
who's
so
up first
ready
here,
to-
Ben?
Yep. The order's up there. So we're going Ben, Justin, Chris. It'll go 2 picks for me, and then it'll make its way back like your standard snake draft.
Are you able to edit that there, Christopher?
No, I think we're in the presentation mode, so it'd be too much jumping around.
All right, so we got to write this down ourselves.
Yeah. Keep track of your own, and then we'll put the results onto Twitter and Instagram, and and let the public decide who wins this draft. So, Ben.
So are we sticking with, is it frozen desserts only or just desserts? Any dessert?
Ever frozen. I mean, I think it's whatever you consider dessert. Because if you want to go out there and say you want, snow caps or whatever that weird sprinkled candy is, and you want that to be your dessert, that's fine. You're wasting a draft pick, and you're
can't
probably
say.
not gonna win.
I mean, scrambled eggs don't qualify then.
Yeah, I wouldn't put scrambled eggs.
No, that's a meal. That's
Okay, you got this, Ben. We got this.
We can discuss as we go along.
We can discuss. Okay. Well, man, I feel like chocolate chip cookies got to be the number one, right?
Chocolate chip cookie,
right?
Wow.
I mean, if you're making me go specific,
yes, you have to be specific in your cookie choice.
Yes, I can't say cookies in general. I have to pick a specific cookie.
Wow.
I feel like chocolate chip has got to be the top one.
Okay.
You don't need to justify your pick at all, Ben.
Does no one else do cookies for dessert, or is that just me?
I don't know that would have been my number one pick off the board of all
like
desserts.
A side snack.
Possible.
I just feel like if
so. Wait.
Of all cookies, chocolate chip has to be the best.
Right, but it's not the cookie draft. This is the dessert draft, and
Yeah,
we've had days
cookies for dessert.
We've
Ben,
been
I'm
talking
with you.
about this. We've been talking about this show for a few days and topics and things like that. And obviously, the banana split thing came up months ago.
That's right.
And so Ben has laid his claim on banana splits, but then has told us that, I mean, if he actually had to pick a dessert, he would go with a chocolate malt, which is, I mean, I actually kind of put in there when I was making this draft board. And then he gets the number one pick, does not go banana split, does not go malt, and goes with a chocolate chip cookie.
Throwing your curveball, that's what that's called.
Like a sixth-round draft pick right there.
Right, yeah, I think you could have waited on that one. All right, Justin.
Well, I think I
low.
can wait on my banana split.
Probably.
Yep.
Blue Moon ice cream.
So again, though, now is that not specific? Like, do you have to get a specific flavor? I'm not familiar with Blue Moon.
I said Blue Moon, Ben.
So is that the brand or is that the flavor?
Oh, that's a flavor.
Okay, I didn't know.
Ice cream, Ben.
When's the last time you were at an ice cream shop?
I don't know. I just went the other day, but all I do is really get ice cream and chocolate chip cookie dough are the only two in my library.
I don't feel I need to defend my pick because this is my team.
You don't. I just had questions.
I think it was a garbage pick, and again, you could have picked it in the 6th round. I don't think anybody had that on their board, much less we're going to pick it in first.
It's my favorite.
Definitely not on my board.
You guys are coming up, so show us how it's done.
We'll see what everybody else thinks.
This is an automatic. M&M, Oreo, Blizzard, or Concrete mix.
Wait. So you're putting
M&M's. It has to be Blizzard or Concrete. It has to be one or the other.
You're putting M&M's and Oreos in there together. Absolutely. If you need me to pick one, I will take the Concrete mix from Culver's.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a differentiator because Culver's is custard, so it is not even, an ice cream Blizzard. So that is totally different. But we're going M&M's. Totally different. But we're going M&M. Got it.
Big time.
Okay.
Jason.
Hold on, I'm just writing down this Concrete mixer. Jeez, I didn't think that these would be the first 3 picks, so I'm kind of at a loss. I feel like
I just want to ask
one other question. 2 in a row.
Did you guys actually prepare for this? Like, do you have a list written down, or are you like me and just shooting from the hip?
I'm shooting from the hip.
We see the hip from your shot with that chocolate chip cookie.
Well,
you didn't even get it out of the
hole.
holster.
Shot yourself in the hip, Ben.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 40 years old, and I think I know what kind of desserts I like by now. So.
I mean, you walk into a room with all these first 3 choices, and Ben's going to just take a cookie and walk out. Like, cool, man. Enjoy that cookie. I'm going to have, geez. Epic.
I think with my first pick, I'm going to go very traditional, very middle of the road, and just go chocolate ice cream. Chocolate ice cream, especially for, obviously, chocolate lovers. It's just a standard. It's a staple. You can find it everywhere. It's really hard to screw up chocolate ice cream.
Interesting.
And then I'm going to come right back. With something that I don't necessarily eat a whole lot if I have the option, but sort of a restaurant dessert favorite, or one that you see at a lot of restaurants, and that's the chocolate lava cake.
That's a steal right there.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That was it.
Wow.
And then it'll fire back to Chris here with his second pick.
That hurts. That was actually, I don't know if we'll ever have one duplicate, but that would have been my duplicate right there.
I feel like
That's a
lava
good one.
cake is the easy moonshot one. Everyone's like, ooh yeah, lava cake.
Yeah,
It's
I'm here to win.
Yeah.
We'll just see what the
Do you
people
draft
say.
a team just to feel good about yourself, or what?
Yes.
Okay. Well.
All right, we're going to go with vanilla cake cupcakes. Okay? If you need me to
just
pick a
like a white
frosting
cupcake?
on it, I need a white vanilla cupcake.
I don't think we need to
mix.
be that specific, but
All right,
you're
so
talking just a white
vanilla cake cupcake with chocolate frosting.
vanilla cupcake. Choco frosting. That was very specific, almost like you had that at like your wedding or something.
No, it's actually just every Sunday the grocery store, every pickup we get, it has 6 of those in it, and they're delicious. And I have a problem. You know.
Okay. Justin.
Oreo concrete mixer.
So no M&Ms.
Nope.
Wow.
Okay.
I see that mine's a very popular pick. You might as well just take my seconds.
Interesting.
Mang.
Okay.
All right. So for the first of my 2 in a row here picks, I'm going to take salted caramel cheesecake, which is by far the best of the cheesecakes. Cheesecake in general is awesome, but you put some caramel on there with some salt. Ooh.
I'm going to disagree on best cheesecakes. I would probably go with like a red velvet.
I feel like the red velvet is the more well-known, but you put the 2 of them in front of me, I'm going salted caramel every time.
Fair enough. What's number 2 then?
I'm going to go with chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
Wow.
Ben's taking his number 1 pick, and now he's just throwing it in some ice cream.
Well,
just
the first one was just cookies.
No mention
froze
of
it.
Ben's chocolate malt or banana split.
Hey, I understand the group I'm playing with, and I don't feel like you guys are going to take them. So I'm going to wait for it to come around to me at the end.
You only have 1 more pick.
We only got 1 more
Exactly.
pick, Ben.
I'm not worried.
You got 1 pick for 2 items, Ben.
I feel fine with it.
Okay. But back to me.
Justin. Yep, 3rd pick.
Just your traditional. Well, let's get real specific here. Perkins pumpkin pie with whipped cream on top.
A Perkins reference.
So that's very seasonal too.
Perkins pumpkin pie. I am not a pumpkin pie fan. I'm not going to hate on it. It's not something that I like. So I'm not saying it's a bad pick. It's just not
no ice cream with that pumpkin pie. I mean that.
No, just whipped topping.
I just think it's gonna hurt your voters, buddy. But that's okay. It happens.
Chris, 3rd pick.
3rd pick. We're going national vendor Dairy Queen cherry dipped cone vanilla ice cream.
Ooh.
Cherry dip. I've never had a dipped cone. This is the actual cone is dipped, or the ice cream is dipped?
No, the ice cream.
Ice cream is dipped, so it's like a
vanilla ice cream dipped in cherry, like a cherry flavored
kind of like a deli.
shell.
I think they have like a deli. What are they called? Deli dippers or something like that. They have they're usually on a stick, but this is actually a cone.
Gotcha. Cherry dipped vanilla. Cone. Cool. One I have not had. So I'm going to round out my team pretty easily here. I just mentioned, I believe, both of them. I'm definitely okay. So with the first, my third pick, the first of these two, I'm gonna go with the better of the two cheesecakes. I'm gonna go with red velvet cheesecake.
Risky take.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's more upscale. It's always seen in a better light than just a standard cheesecake with caramel.
You
on
think
it.
your cheesecake is better than my cheesecake?
I just said it was.
I don't like your attitude.
My team's gonna win, so I mean, it is what it is.
We'll see.
I'm torn on this last one because Ben left malt sitting there, and I do like a good malt. I'm just wondering if maybe a milkshake, not a malt, is the better play.
But you're definitely going with like a beverage.
You know what? I'm going complete curveball because I've ordered this somewhat recently. Even though I made fun of it in your little banana split story, but I'm going with the grasshopper.
Yeah.
I'm going with the green ice cream drink. Throw a little
minty.
booze in there.
Is it because of the booze? Like if you had the non-alcoholic, would you still take it?
I actually had them growing up. Our family would make them on my dad's side at Christmas time, and they would make ours virgin style until we were out of high school, even though the percentage of alcohol in them is probably like, I don't know, 1.2%. Yeah, they wouldn't let us do it to ruin our high school eligibility. Somehow we would lose out. But that's my squad. I'm throwing it back to Chris to finish out his.
I mean, this is just a handoff to a win. I'm going to go with just the most simple thing that you passed on, and I'm going with a chocolate milkshake.
Ooh. My milkshake brings all the boys to
There's
the yard.
one thing that I had written down, but I thought maybe it wouldn't actually classify as a dessert, was puppy chow. And I'm going to pass on that to go with the chocolate milkshake.
Yeah, that's more of a snack.
Yeah, dog food doesn't count. We can't.
Dog food, not good. Puppy chow, very good. I would see that more as a snack instead of dessert.
I get that.
Good pick with the milkshake. Justin, did he steal one from you, or did you?
No chance. There's no chance anybody was taking my last pick here.
Or any of
because nobody eats it.
This is a homemade Amish chocolate whoopie.
What now?
Told you.
A homemade Amish chocolate whoopie.
Whoopie, like the slang.
Cushion?
Yeah,
the slang term for sex. We're talking.
No. It is a chocolate whoopie.
Chocolate sex.
It's
chocolate Amish sex.
No, it's basically like a ice cream sandwich, okay? But
okay.
A lot easier.
What is it made? You got to explain this a little bit to us.
It's made of ice cream, like Oreo fluff, and chocolate cookies.
Chocolate Amish whoopie? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay. Interesting. Never heard of it. Sounds
Try
good.
it. They're good. They're really good.
Yeah. So what does it look like? It's like one of those ice cream cakes, right? Or what do they call them?
It looks like an ice cream sandwich, but
yeah.
Ice cream sandwich has just ice cream in it. This has like a kind of a fluff ice cream.
Gotcha. Interesting.
It's more like a cake than a cookie.
I think if you have to describe it, you're probably not going to get a lot of likes out of that one.
It's fine. That's what I like.
I mean, certainly better. I mean, maybe you'll get a couple. Maybe you'll get a couple likes just because it sounds like Amish people having sex and chocolate. I mean, who knows? Ben, round us out here.
Well, it wasn't taken, so I'm going to take my malts. I mean, malts are obviously the best of all the milkshakes.
What?
Banana split did
no
not
banana
get
split. It's on the screen.
I told you guys straight up, the banana split is my favorite. It's nostalgic, but if we're going top desserts, I got to try to get something that the people are going to like.
Wait. But you drafted salted caramel cheesecake because that was your favorite cheesecake.
Yes.
So now you're saying you didn't draft your overall favorite dessert, but you drafted your favorite cheesecake.
and description of a dessert. You didn't even name a flavor. You just want a malt.
Chocolate malt. What other flavor is
Chocolate.
There's only one.
Is there?
Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, there probably are other flavors, but
There's not a mint malt?
nobody
I don't know.
screws
I've
around
only
with
ever
it.
had chocolate. Maybe there's a vanilla malt, but I would think that's
You're-
as far as they
yeah.
go with their malt.
If you're
flavors.
doing it right, if you're getting an old fashioned malt, it's definitely chocolate malt. Good
Yeah.
pick. Just, I mean, the fact that, I mean, I guess it lasted till the fourth pick, but I think that tells you how bad your first three picks were.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, for
All I
sure.
would
Last
say,
in the
if
league.
there were 5 rounds, milkshake would have gone on, or banana split was going off next. So
DQ birthday cake was my next one.
You know the weirdest thing that I had when growing up, when I used to get Dairy Queen Blizzards, was like the candy nerds in the Blizzard, and now it just, the thought of it disgusts me. But I mean, it was never a question what I was getting when I went to Dairy Queen. It was always a nerds Blizzard.
Well,
I
that
didn't even know that
explains a
was a
lot of
thing.
things. But
A lot.
It probably does. It probably does. Oh man. All right. Well, I mean, that sort of wraps it up. That's our first episode ever.
Fun one.
Yeah, it was a fun one, and we'll do more things like that. If you guys have any topics you'd like us to talk about, if you have any discussion points on what we talked about today, feel free, hit us up again on Twitter at rest_field, REST_field, Instagram at the rest of the field. Hopefully you're watching us on YouTube. Again, give us some likes, some follows, subscribe, whatever social media you're following us on, hit us up on there so we know you're watching, you know you like it. Let us know you don't like it. It doesn't matter to us. We're doing this for fun. I had a blast today. Again, we are the rest of the field. This was episode 1. Just want to thank you all for tuning in, for checking us out. Go ahead and vote on the dessert draft. We'll have that up later today. My name is Jason, and for Justin, Chris, and Ben, thank you, and we're out.
I might laugh.
stay safe, stay healthy.